Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 140 of the American Reveille podcast. And why not have this great background visiting here in the city of Chicago on some business? Why not have this background for episode 140? Hit it high on the even numbers. That's what I say. Hit it high on the even numbers. And speaking of hitting it high and building it high, it's a certain strip of land, a certain strip of wall that's about to be built down in South Texas. A city, a town, whatever you want to call it, they fought their ass off. And now Biden's being held to the fire, and he has to build that wall. You know what that tells me? That tells me if enough people fight their ass off, if enough people stand up, if enough people open their mouths, we can get the wall finished. We can finish everything Trump started. We can start now without having to wait for him in 2024. All right. And then when he comes in 2024, hey, he's got a whole new world to work on. We are just as responsible as he. We are just as responsible as our leaders. It is time for us as patriots to stand up and open our mouths. This is episode 140. We're going to talk about the wall a little bit next. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, episode 140 of the American Reveille podcast. We're hanging out here in Chicago, business in Chicago, putting stickers up all around. If you find an American Reveille sticker somewhere in downtown Chicago, give me a shout out. You may win a prize. But with that being said, we're here. We're doing what we can. I shipped the entire rig up here to Chicago so that I could do the editing, get the writing in, get the videos in, do the schoolwork, everything I got to do while I am up here. Just here for a couple more days, doing my thing. It's nice outside. Weather's good. There's no snow. Getting towards the summer. You know, the trip, the plane ride was a little crappy. You know, it was good. I met an 85-year-old man. I sat next to him, and he was there with his wife. 63 years they were married. 63 years. If only some of the young people that are burning our cities could really see that and understand the power, the pure power that's in a team that's been conducting business for 63 years. You see, marriage isn't just about, oh, I love you, oh, let's bang, oh, let's eat a burrito. Marriage is about forming a team, a union, so that you can work together to achieve family goals, to drive the family in a certain direction, right? So if you have kids and you're sitting there and you're both working dead-end jobs and you're banging your heads together, screaming at each other every day, that's not how it works. Somebody's got to take certain responsibilities. Somebody else has to take certain responsibilities. The roles go around and you move forward, all right? This person was a principal of a Lutheran high school for 43 years. He retired 20 years ago, and he told me he wouldn't even know what to do today with this critical race theory, with all of this woke nonsense and garbage. He wouldn't even know what to do. It was a great conversation. And guess where I am? Like I said, Chicago. All right. I've talked to a lot of folks that live in Southside. I've talked to people. I ran into folks in the airport, on the plane, folks working up here in the northern part of Chicago, in the different stores that live in the southern part of Chicago that commute. We've had no problems, no racial issues. All this race stuff, it's coming from the idiot box. All right. I guess you would call it the idiot box being your phone now. You know, nobody's watching TV anymore, but it's all coming from the talking heads. It's all coming from the narrative. It's all garbage. Don't believe what they say. Real people of all economic statuses, of all races, ethnicities, of all colors, everything, creeds, walks of life, they're sick and tired of this crap. Everybody wants to get along. Nobody wants this war. Nobody. You know who wants this war? White, woke liberals on the left. That's who wants this war. And we're not going to give them the satisfaction. We will all stand up. We will all fight. But we're going to fight with our mouths. All right? When 1 million people of all colors and creeds walk hand in hand down the street demanding for the death of critical race theory will die. but we have to get together. We have to work together. We have to talk about it. That's the only way we can start waking people up more and more. We can inspire people. We can empower people to have the confidence to do the right thing. That's what we're trying to do here. All right, that's what we're trying to do. If you're on Gab, do me a favor. Follow me there, American_Reveille. If you're on Parler, Parler's back up, but it's wackadoodle. Wackadoodle. Oh, we're upgrading our system. Parler just, But if you're on Parler, stick with it. They'll get there eventually. And I'm at the James Lane on Parler. I just formed a MeWe page, guys. So come join me on MeWe. All right, American_Reveille. I'm making it real easy for you. Find me on MeWe. We put out dozens of articles every month. We put out dozens podcasts. Well, we try to get to dozens of podcasts, but we put out at least a couple a week. All right. On a good week, 10. All right. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And we're working on getting more talent in so that you have a variety of different podcasts to choose from. We're not subscription based. There's no streaming service. There's nothing like that. Everything's free. Will there eventually be a monthly thing? Probably. Because I think advertising is the way of the past. It's dying. Google is dying, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going. It's all going in the box. It's all going in the box and getting buried under the sea. Give it 10 years, 2030. Google will be gone. I'm going to put that down on paper right now, and then if I'm right, we can have a whole James Lane was right song. Alex Jones will be retired by then. Maybe I'll take his spot. Look, all right. It'll be gone. Different technologies will take over, and then the advertising stuff isn't going to work, because if things become decentralized where there isn't a ruling class, like if we go in and break up Facebook, break up Google, break everything up, kill the monopolies, right? And we decentralize everything, put the power back in the hands of the people. People are going to get to choose whether or not they want to see ads. Most people don't give a crap. They don't want to hear about ads. All right. So that means there has to be another way to bring the money in to fund this while we build different sections. And while we're doing that, we will end up probably doing a $1 to $2 a month thing. All right. I'm not everybody else. I'm not here to rip you off. I'm not here to take bazillions of dollars from you. 1 to 2 is enough. If we had 100,000 people listening and I took $1 a month, that's $100,000 a month. All right. Which turns into 1.2 million a year. Take some taxes out, whatever. It's like 800 or 900K. We can take this little business and expand it into a monstrous national media company that can take hold of the narrative and steer it in the other direction, right towards, well, the right, of course. We don't want it going towards the left or towards an iceberg. All right. So that's where I'm getting it. It's not a huge thing. Right? It's not a huge thing, $1 or $2. We're not there yet. That'll probably even be maybe a year down the road. All right. But we have advertisers. We'll do 1 or 2 here and there. All right. But we're never going to be these loaded shows. Like, we're never going to be Joe Rogan on Spotify starting with 9 advertisers. I mean, hey, I would like $130 million as well, or whatever it is he made. Is what it is. I understand where he's coming from, but that is not the future of American Reveille, because American Reveille in the end is here to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here to serve, not to take. Sometimes you've got to be a little selfish so you can be a lot selfless. All right? I'm serious. How can you, if you have nothing, give everything? If you have nothing to give, you can't give anything at all. It's like a parent who wants to take care of their kids, right? But they are drained. Their brains are drained. They're tired. They're exhausted. They get no break, all right? And they say, I have to do everything for my children. Yes, you do have to do everything for your children. You do. It's part of the job. But if you are burnt, if you are dead, if you are done inside mentally, that's not a judgment of you and your children. You can love your children and be tired and exhausted and unhealthy. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll never be able to take care of your kids, your spouse, anything. You'll never be able to take care of them as good as you could if you were taking care of yourself. It's the same concept, guys, the same exact concept. All right. Look, one thing is certain. All right. There will be advertisers for a while. There will. So if that gives you a stomach ache, I don't know what to tell you. It might be because your colon has been impacted with pounds and pounds and pounds of undigested red meat. It could be because your liver's full of toxins. Have you looked in the mirror? Are your eyes yellow? Do you have jaundice? I mean, you never know. Do you want to know where I'm going with this? You want to know where we're going, where we're coming from? Guys, if you've been bloated, if you're not feeling good, Life Change Tea has been amazing. I brought it up here on this trip. It's great. It's fantastic, all right? They've got pomegranate flavor. They have mint flavor. They have a regular tea flavor. It's good. You cook it. You let it steep about 8 hours. You put it in a jug, fill it with water. You got cleansing iced tea. This stuff's not going to bloat you, not going to hurt you. You're not going to have nuclear napalm diarrhea in the bathroom. You're not going to have to leave the dinner party or the friend's house or the family's house freaking out because you pooped your britches. No. It's gentle, it's good, and you'll wake up every day feeling light, feeling empty. You know what I'm talking about? You ever wake up in the morning and you've got gas, you're bloated? For me, it's like every morning. And then I start drinking Life Change Tea, and I woke up and I felt empty, and I shed a freaking tear. Because I haven't felt empty in a long time. All right. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling because you don't feel stuffy and weighed down. You don't feel like you've got toxins. This stuff has a proprietary blend of herbs. And it's amazing. I never knew there was something out there that could do this. All right. It cleanses you of toxins, and it does a great job. It really does a great job. If you're curious about it, you can stick around at the end of this video. I put a little 2-minute ad together. It'll tell you a little bit more about it. Some cool disco music. Yeah, no disco music, but it's a good little thing. It'll tell you what's up. If you'd like to check it out now yourself without watching that, just go to getthetea.com. GETTHET. getthetea.com. Promo code James, JAMES. Promo code James gets you free shipping and handling. This is called Life Change Tea for a reason. For a reason, because when you wake up and your stomach pain and your bloat and all of the things that weighed you down, that tension is relieved, you're going to feel like a completely different person. Life Change Tea is amazing. GetTheTea.com. Promo code James. Free shipping and handling. Guys, Joe Biden is building the wall. Of course he is. Of course he is. Who didn't think that would eventually happen? Who didn't think that enough patriots wouldn't stand up and open their damn mouths? All right? Open their damn mouths. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you to do me something right now. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. If you are freaking ecstatic, if you are laughing to yourself, if you are happy that I'm bringing you this news, that Joe Biden had to swallow a big piece of humble pie and say, okay, fine, and put up more wall in the face of the lefties, in the face of the radicals, if that makes you happy, if that turns you on deep inside, if that gives you a guttural erection, an internal one. Don't get all gross. Don't get in the sewers here. We're making analogies. We're making analogies. Analogies are okay. Remember that. Analogies are okay. If that makes you happy, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you hit that notification bell, you hit it. You have to. Because if you don't, I will disappear. The censorship wall is up. We're doing everything we can to get around it, but we also depend heavily on you. So please like, share, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment. It is absolutely imperative. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, 5-star rating is a must. Thank you so much for that. And if you'd like, leave a comment on there and I will absolutely respond. Absolutely. We're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on TuneIn. We're on Google Podcasts. We're all over the place. We're on YouTube. I hate YouTube. We're on Rumble. I'm not a fan of Rumble either. But Odyssey, ODYSEE.com, that is a different type of video hosting platform. It is using blockchain technology. It is awesome. Try it out, ODYSEE.com. I am on there as American_Reveille. If you would like a special invite link, email me directly, James Lane at AmericanReveille.com. I will give you a special invite link. It'll take you right there. And also, description section below. Everything I've talked about, From the Life Change tee to the social media to where our videos are, every single thing is in the description section below. And if you're trolling around in the description section, don't forget to hit the newsletter button. Sign up for the newsletter. It is where we announce our contest, because in the next couple weeks, I'm going to announce a $200 grand prize contest. It's a sticker contest. I will be sending you stickers straight to your address with a special note written by me. So don't forget that. Sign up to the newsletter. And with that, again, like I said a couple seconds ago, Biden is to resume construction of a section of President Trump's border wall in Texas, ladies and gentlemen, in Texas. This is May 12th, 2021 from Kristen Taylor. All right, Kristen Taylor, and we are reading. Fox News reporter Bill Melligan reported Wednesday evening on Special Report. That's a lot of reports. Fox News reporter reported Wednesday. Special Report. Reporter. Fox News reporter Bill Melligan reported Wednesday evening on Special Report that the Biden administration will resume construction of a 13.4-mile stretch of President Trump's border wall in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. It is also being said that a bunch of Texans have gotten together, thrown a kegger, and they're shooting their guns into the sky going, "Rah!" because they are excited that Biden had to suck it. I added that part. It's my fantasy imagination. I feel like in Texas, people put on ponchos and cowboy hats, go out into the desert and do weird stuff like that. I like Texas. It's a great place, and I think Biden should kiss every Texan's ass, especially for blaming what happened over the winter on them, instead of blaming it on the windmills that take up more friggin' heat and energy and oil than anything else, and it's supposed to be green energy. It's all garbage. It's all BS. Completely. Look at that guy. For those not listening, for those watching, we're looking at a beautiful picture of the most handsome, most awesome, best president we've had in our lifetimes, President Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the United States, most likely soon to be 47th president of the United States as well. We will see, of course. We will see, but big things have been happening. We are continuing the read. Melligan. I'm just going to call him Melligan. It's probably Malugan, but I'm just going to call him Melligan. Like a mulligan. Melligan posted about this report on Twitter. Breaking at Fox News has confirmed via the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers that construction on a 13.4-mile stretch of border wall in the Rio Grande Valley will resume. It will resume after pressure from local residents and politicians. The Biden admin previously halted all wall construction in January. All of it. All right. Senator Ted Cruz also recently sent a letter out to Biden urging completion of a stretch of unfinished border wall in Hidalgo County due to concerns about a level wall system that was part of the border wall construction that was left unfinished. With flood season approaching, Cruz called on Biden to finish the wall. Cruz's spokesperson, Erin Perini, posted the letter Wednesday evening in response to the Fox report. And I'm going to read this letter to you, but I want to say something first about this. So Ted Cruz, in a letter, was able to sway President Biden, all right, using tactics, subversion tactics, all right? Of course, we want the wall built to keep the frickin' illegals, drugs, rapists, and murderers out. But we also need the wall because our city will flood. Find outside-the-box solutions, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to offer a complaint to your senator, if you're going to offer a complaint to your congressman or woman, try your best to offer them an outside-the-box solution. A lot of these people can't freaking think on their own. They are politicians. They're bureaucrats. They're following hierarchical structures. They are following freaking norms that have been in place for decades and decades and decades. You say, hey, senator, hey, congressperson, this is effed up, and this is how you fix it. If enough people do that, it will give them the power to offer those solutions up. All right? Biden couldn't fight that, and Biden lost that fight, and Cruz won it. That means it's possible anywhere, folks. All we need is enough patriots opening their mouths. So this letter right here, it's a pretty good letter, and I'm going to read it right now. It says, Dear President Biden, your decision to halt levee wall construction when you halted border wall construction has left hundreds of thousands of residents vulnerable in the Rio Grande Valley. We've heard from Hidalgo County officials and residents that as hurricane and flooding seasons soon approach, the unfinished border wall levee system in Hidalgo County is a matter of public urgent safety. All right. It's urgent. All right. They could have their own Katrina there if the levee is not finished. They've been emphatic. Remediating the levee wall system should be an emergency priority. We urge you to allow the RGV Border Patrol sector to complete and reinforce the compromised and unfinished levee system in Hidalgo County immediately, a measure that is strongly supported by local residents and leaders across the political spectrum. This is important because one thing I've noticed going across country this time for business is that everybody I talk to seems to be on the same page with us. It's a very small amount of people that are against what we want to do as people on the right, whether you're libertarian or conservative or Republican. There aren't many people that disagree. They are just afraid. They are scared. They've never had to speak out before with consequences. They are afraid. We need to keep waking them up because, like this shows, if enough people locally stand up, things happen. If you fight in your community can be saved, but you have to fight with your First Amendment. This is an example. In 2019, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection began construction on approximately 24 miles of levee wall system in Hidalgo County, Texas, to protect against flood damage that plagues the region. CBP partnered with the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the USACE, to award a contract to build 11 miles of new levee system. And the levee system construction project was funded by the CBP's fiscal year 2019 appropriation. The levee design plans were approved by the International Boundary and Water Commission, IBWC, and USACE. Initially, in order to accommodate border wall construction, the levee system was modified. However, when your administration halted border wall construction this January, it also halted construction on the levee wall system in Hidalgo County, leaving that system not only unfinished, but compromised. Currently, there are approximately 14 miles of work area in Hidalgo County that are either incomplete or compromised. This exposes residents to uncovered trenches, rebar, and construction materials. It also cuts off or limits many Hidalgo County residents' businesses and irrigation district access to their property. But the largest threat by far to public safety is the upcoming hurricane season. The RGV knows all too well the catastrophic effects of flooding. In June 2018, the valley experienced a great flood, made vulnerable by its generally flat terrain and proximity to the warm Gulf waters. The valley experienced flash flooding, precipitated by heavy tropical rainfall, leading to flooded streets and thousands of emergency rescues. The flooding is estimated to have resulted in at least $250 million worth of damage, including damage to over 20,000 Texas residences and businesses. Crazy. The RGV was struck again in 2019 with record-setting rainfall in certain areas. Streets were again flooded, homes and businesses devastated. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, in response, committed $240 million to the repair of homes, businesses, and infrastructure. And last year, the RGV was hit with prolific rainfall, including 18 inches in some spots. Can you imagine 18 inches of flooding? That is insane. That is bad. All right. These people are in danger. They're in danger, and the government just shut this down. How many other places are in danger? Not just by border and by levee system and by natural disaster, but by criminality, but by drugs, by horrifying circumstances of poverty that we couldn't even imagine. How many places are engulfed in that type of activity and that type of lifestyle? How many people wish they could get out? How many people wish that things would be built and be done and be corrected wherever it is, whether it's infrastructure, not Biden's infrastructure, but whether it's their cities, their towns' actual infrastructure, bridges, roads, potholes, whether it's their own homes, electricity grid, whether it's the drinking water, whether it's anything. If enough people open their mouths, mountains are not just moved, they are built. They are risen from the depths of the earth and driven into the sky on the backs of people with the will to open their mouths and fight. So what are you doing? Ask yourself that question. What are you doing to talk about these issues in your town, ladies and gentlemen? What are you doing in your town? I'll tell you what's happening in the Rio Grande Valley. While residents of the RGV have suffered through devastating tropical storms in recent years, this year's hurricane season is already shaping up to have busier tropical storm activity than normal. Hurricane expert Dr. Philip Klotzbach of Colorado State University released this year's seasonal hurricane forecast with a predicted 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes for 2021 rates, notably higher than the averages from 1981 to 2010. Texas is expected to be hit hard, all right, with a forecasted 75% chance of being impacted by a tropical storm, a 49% chance of being hit by a hurricane, and a 21% chance of a major hurricane hitting the state. These rates are considerably higher than the typical hurricane season rates in Texas, 58%, 35%, and 14% respectively. With a forecasted, and you know the left is going to jump on that and be like, global warming! Garbage. With a forecasted busy hurricane season fast approaching, border wall levee construction must commence immediately in Hidalgo County. In response to the heightened flood risk this year, over 14 miles of the levee system need immediate remediation. The compromised levee poses severe risk to over 200,000 county residences once flooding begins. Simply put, the effects of hurricane season will be catastrophic in Hidalgo County if the levee system is not remediated. Independent of the border wall's significant success in decreasing illegal immigration, shoring up the levee system will provide desperately needed safety and security to Americans in the Rio Grande Valley. Your administration should not allow its opposition to a border wall to prevent building a levee wall that is critical to the people of Rio Grande Valley. We urge you to authorize the RGV Border Patrol sector to immediately commence levee construction. And then there, boom, update, confirmed by the Army Corps of Engineers in support of CBP's Border Infrastructure Program. USACE has resumed DHS-funded design and construction support of approximately 13.4 miles of a levee in a Rio Grande Valley that were partially excavated or at various levels of construction when the work on the wall was paused for review. So that letter Cruz wrote, that's what's called a home run. That's a trap. They were caught. There's nowhere to turn. Every single fact supports the building of a levee wall. You see that? You see the outside of the box thinking? You see how they get around things? You see at the end that little thing they put in there? Just because you suck and you want criminals to come in this country, it doesn't mean you should let everybody here drown. Right? You can't argue that. That is a lawyer trapping somebody. All right? And Biden's just like his son, he's a piece of crap, crappy lawyer. Crappy lawyer. All right. But Cruz is a badass lawyer. I like him. He's flippy floppy on certain things. I don't know if I'd vote for him as president. I might. But man, if DeSantis ran and Trump didn't, DeSantis would come first. But I do like Cruz. Nothing against him. But I'm going to tell you the truth. He's a hell of an orator and a hell of a writer and a hell of a lawyer and a hell of a senator, excuse me. A hell of a senator. Right? It's just a couple things he does and says sometimes. It's like Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder has a thing about Rand Paul. Never mind. Steven Crowder likes Rand Paul but can't stand his freaking face and voice. I kind of feel like that about Ted Cruz a little. I mean, and I'm saying that with love because if I ever have to interview him, he's going to punch me in the mouth for saying, I'm going to tell you this. I think he looks fantastic with a beard compared to a shaved face. And he'd probably agree with me because I have the same chin issues and like growing a beard myself. Look, if you know how to write, you can do the research and write this and submit it to your congressman or senator. You might have a dumb congressman. You might have a dumb senator. For all the things Ted Cruz is, he's not dumb. Very, very well written, very literate, very, very skilled, right? Just a little dry sometimes for my taste, but you can see over the last couple of years, he's been working on it. He is sharp. He wouldn't have gotten to the level that he's at if he wasn't a self-improver. I'm sure he's looked in the mirror and told himself things and worked on certain things. And what you need to work on, all right, is recognizing what issues your city has, your town has, your little neighborhood has. All right, you can create this research and work. You can put together, you can draft it. You can put note cards on the wall, create sections, and write little sections together until you have a beautiful 10-page letter. And you can petition your congressman or senator. You do that with 100,000 people behind you and see what happens. Big things will happen. It's time to stop being lazy. We're not the left. We need to stand up, open our mouths, and fight. All right? We need to fight, we need to write, and we need to win, ladies and gentlemen. We need to win. USACE confirms the focus is only on levee wall construction. To be clear, wall construction remains paused to extent permitted by law per DHS. We've started critical work to repair the Rio Grande flood levee, which was excavated to make way for the border wall. This remediation work will not involve expanding the border barrier. You see where they're talking about, though? They still, though, have to rebuild the levee because the levee and the wall are part of the system, and they still have to build that 13-mile section, which will take care of that town. It'll help tremendously, not just for the flooding, but for the drugs, the criminals, the smuggling, all of that. It doesn't matter what this says here. It's not just like, oh, a levee, but they're going to leave the wall down. The system's much more complicated for that. Then, you know, I implore you, I beg of you to look it up, find some more information, do your research, understand how a levee wall system works when it's constructed into a border wall. There are websites. They explain it, and then you'll understand a little better. We've already been running long on this episode. You know, we've already been running long. But I'll tell you, it's a breath of fresh air to see this. This is a win. It might seem small, it might seem insignificant, but this is a win. The only reason it feels crappy is because the left is louder than us. They're a bunch of loudmouth little crybabies, so they're louder than us. So they're like a little tiny like Chihuahua dog, right, with a loud bark. But they're this big. They're tiny. We are the majority. All right. The right, all colors, all races, all creeds, all ethnicities, all walks of life, rich or poor, doesn't matter. The right is the majority, ladies and gentlemen. And if we just speak up loud enough and together all at once, it will be deafening. They won't just hear us. They won't just hear us. Their eardrums will be blown out of their heads. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This was episode 140 of the American Reveille podcast. I'm enjoying Chicago. I've embraced the Jewish God. I had some matzo ball soup and a nice Reuben for breakfast. L'chaim. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on episode 141 with some more stories and some more Chicago. Have a great one. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. I have a pack of it right here. Listen, as many of you know, I've been working really, really hard to get back in shape, okay? I was thinking lately, right? And you should probably be thinking about it too, with how crazy everything is, with how unstable the government seems, with all of these socialists, all of this leftist insanity. You would just call it insanity. Who knows when the hell I'm going to have to run, or when I'm going to have to, I don't know, save my family from something. I don't know. So I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, feeling crappier and crappier and crappier. My diet was junk. I started by cleaning up the diet. I've been working out more and more, but I was still bloated. I was still gassy. I was still feeling crappy. And I finally decided to pull out an old trick in the book. All right. Something that I used for weight loss in the past. And I was thinking about a cleanse, right? Maybe take something that would help me evacuate my bowels a little bit, if you know what I mean. But you know, what I found was something different. I found Life Change Tea. All right, www.getthetea.com. I found this Life Change Tea, and instead of a 7-day or a 14-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, what they were offering was a daily tea, like a daily delicious iced tea, not some kind of weird hot tea or some kind of nasty tasting thing. No, this was a health supplement. All right, I started reading about it, and they were talking about all these herbs, these ancient herbs, right? Look at this: organic blessed thistle herb, malva leaf, organic marshmallow leaf. I didn't even know what the heck a marshmallow leaf was. Apparently, it's for anti-inflammatory and antioxidants and stuff. I looked some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Milk thistle extract that cleans your liver and kidneys. I mean, there's all these different things in here, but I was happy. I was attracted to it because it was all natural. It was put together in the US, right? Obviously, they've got to get spices from these very special places. Not spices, but these special herbs. They got to get them from special places around the world, but it's all done here. It's packaged, put together, and blended accordingly right here in the USA. All right. And I tried it and it was delicious. Look at this. I'm old school. I fill a jug. You see this big jug right here? And for those listening over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything like that, I'm holding this big gallon jug that used to be full of water. See those tea bags floating in the bottom there? This was full, guys. But I've been drinking it every day, twice a day, 8 ounces. Take a listen. Pour it in the glass. Oh yeah, that's not a sound effect. That's real. Look at this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And mabuhay to all my Filipino friends out there. I have the mint flavor. It's actually really good. I really like it. It's yummy. Look, this stuff's good. I can take that right now. I'm going to do 2 hours of podcast recording after this. It's not like me drinking that's going to send me running to the back. It's gentle. It's good stuff, all right? So it's got all these herbs. They cleanse you out. They make you regular again. They clean the toxins out of your system. They help you clean the extra waste that's been stored up in the colon, the stuff that's not healthy for you, not good for you. It keeps the bloat down. I don't feel so swollen. You know how you feel like swollen sometimes? Your fingers are... Yeah, you don't feel like that. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So it's good stuff, guys. Listen, you have to go to getthetea.com. GETTHETEA.com. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Promo code James, folks. Promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. It's not expensive. It's good stuff, all right? It helps maintain your health. It cleanses your body from all kinds of toxins, all kinds of things that can cause colds and flus and different things like that. It keeps the bugs out real good. It helps your digestion, all right? Just like I've been saying, my bloats, I feel so much better, guys. I feel so much better. And just in this journey that I'm taking to get back in shape, I really feel like it's helping me immensely. It really is. I really think so. So try it out, guys. Life Change Tea. You just saw me drink a bunch of it. You just saw my almost empty jug. That's, by the way, like the 3rd jug. All right. That's not the first jug. Not the first jug at all. Trust me. It's good stuff, guys. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to thank me. All right. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Get your Life Change Tea. Use the promo code James. Free shipping and handling. Thanks, guys.